Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer video, and today we're going to be talking about 10 creature types that desperately need a new Lord in Pioneer. So, this list obviously is very subjective. I'm going to be going over 10 creature types that I really think they either need a new Lord, like an updated one, or even just a Lord in general. So, some of these creature types obviously already have Lords in Pioneer, whether or not it's just granting additional abilities or actual power toughness boosts or something like that. But overall, these are the 10 creature types that I think need a new Lord in Pioneer. But before we hop into the video here, I have to mention that we are currently on our road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are getting very close. And if you want to be part of the huge giveaway that's going to be happening once we hit 1,000 subscribers, you're definitely going to want to be subscribed to the channel, so that way you will be notified as soon as that giveaway happens. So definitely be subscribed to the channel, so that way you won't miss the huge giveaway once we get to 1,000 subscribers. So okay, let's go and hop right into here. So number 10, this is going to be a little lame for some people, but so I have humans/knights. So it's more so knights than it really is humans, but I also do think humans really needs a Lord. I kind of think of cards like Mare of Everbruck, where, pre-Pioneer, they already have a few Lords, but they really don't have that many in Pioneer. But Lords, at least with Knights, they have quite a few, which Knights kind of has its own issue for the most part. But really, what I really want to see is I want to see a human and Knight Lord. Like, it gives humans and Knights +1/+1, and maybe a additional ability like First Strike, which is very human/knight, it makes sense, that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking to see. I would love to see a new Knight Lord and definitely a new human Lord. I think this creature type definitely deserves it. It's already a pretty solid, creature type in Pioneer, and I think another solid Lord would definitely put it over the top. So I have humans and Knights at number 10. Okay, number 9, I have, again, a lot of the ones on this list people are not going to be thinking about. I have Dwarves. I think Dwarves is a very interesting creature type, especially in Pioneer, especially with all the new vehicles coming out. Dwarves naturally work really well with vehicles, so I think Dwarves, there's a lot of design space that there could be, and I just think that Dwarves really deserves a good Lord. I mean, obviously they do have some. I know I have 7 dwarves here, which obviously is not a Lord itself, but it has like Dapala, which gives your I believe it also gives vehicles a boost here. But the one thing is, I think if they print a Lord with a lot of vehicle synergy, I think it would be absolutely perfect for Dwarves. I know we kind of have something like that coming out in Aether Drift anyways, with you choose a creature type and it gives +1/+1. But I think to a certain extent, that's kind of what a card that Dwarves needs. But I would also love to see just a Dwarf itself that grants abilities, and then maybe like if it crews a vehicle, you untap it or something like that. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. But I have Dwarves at number 9. All right, number 8. I know this might be a little bit too soon for some people, but I have Vampires, which Vampires obviously, at least with the Sorin ban, it was much different. They weren't trying to curve out and play Lords and all these other Vampires. They were just trying to cheat a big Vampire into play. But I would love to see Vampires get a new Lord. Vampires hasn't gotten a new Lord since Markov Baron, realistically. And I mean, the Lords even kind of before that really haven't been fantastic. But a couple things I'd like to see. I'd love to see a Death Touch Lord. I feel like when I think of Vampires, I think of two things: draining, and I also think of Death Touch. I also think about combat damage boosting, and what I mean by that is, like, Vampires love to have the keyword of, like, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it or something like that. Like, I just imagine a Lord that grants that or something, or just deals combat damage or something of that nature. I don't know. I'd love to see that for Vampires. I think Vampires definitely deserves another Lord. I'd love to see the deck actually see real play in Pioneer, not just like Sorin, cheating out a 6/5. I'd love to see actual Vampires be good in Pioneer, and that's why I have it at number 8 on the list. All right, number 7. I have Core/Ally. You kind of see a lot of those together, core allies or just allies. Obviously, you have like a human soldier ally, and sometimes you just have like core warriors. But overall, they kind of fit together. I would love to see a Lord that grants power and toughness boost to cores and allies together, at least in terms of different ideas to not make it just a vanilla Lord. I would kind of like to see a token generator. So like kind of like a Rabo from Foundations, where it's like whenever one enters, you make one. Maybe at least in this case, you would do whenever you make cast an ally, you make a core, and then whenever you cast a core, you make an ally or something like that. And then if you cast a core ally, you get both. I don't know. It's just one of those creature types that is not incredibly strong. So if you print a strong Lord, it's not going to make anything too busted or anything like that. But I would definitely love to see core allies get a huge boost, and that's why I have it number 7 on the list. All right. Number 6, I have rats. Rats definitely deserves a true lord. Obviously, there's like some specific lords that, you know, like we have like it's not Toxtrol. I'm forgetting the name of it. The one that gives rats toxic 1. You know, you have something like that. But just like you don't have an actual true rat lord. I would love to see a rat lord. You know, I imagine it like being like a 1/1 for 2 that gives other rats +1/+1, and then it gives like Skulk or Fear or something that just kind of makes sense with rats. That's what I see at least rats needing, and that's why I've got it at number 6 on the list. I think rats is really, really cool. It's one of my favorite creature types in Magic, especially for black. I would say probably is my favorite, but I'd love to see a rat lord enter the format. That would be fantastic. All right, we're in the top favorite territory here. So number 5, I have unexpectedly, I have Druids. I think Druids are really, really cool in Magic. They're all different. You know, sometimes you have some big ones. You have ones that make mana. You have ones like Questing Druid where they're for aggro, and then you have, you know, kind of like the older Questing Druid, the Kyrian Dryad, that's more of like a mid-range card. Like, Druids are kind of all over the place. I would love to see some really, really cool lords, more specifically for aggro, I would say. I'd love to see one that's maybe like a Naya, or like a Gruul, you know, what's the other one? Selesnya hybrid one, maybe, where you could, like, you know, play it in Selesnya or a Gruul deck. I'd also love to see one maybe that, like, spreads 1/1 counters. Kind of like how, you know, a lot of the Druids have, whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, maybe you grant that for everything, not just saying you give it, like, your whole team an anthem or something like that, but maybe it's at least whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, or black, it's like, put up to, you know, divide 2 1/1 counters among 2 different creatures or something like that. Like, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool to see something like that. But I definitely think Druids deserves at least, you know, some recognition for its actual creature type, and that's why I have Druids at number 5 on the list. And somewhat similar to Druids, number 4, I have Dryads. I think Dryads are really, really cool. There's a ton of fantastic ones we've been getting recently, and I would love to see Dryads get an actual lord. What that would kind of look like, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you could do like a doubling ETB. A lot of Dryads, they come into play and they, you know, immediately get some abilities, kind of like Knight of Autumn, but then maybe something that doubles counters. It seems like a lot of Dryads have 1/1 counters, shenanigans, synergies going on. Maybe that's something that you do. It's literally just grants one, you know, it gives +1/+1 and then it just doubles counters when they come in with them. I don't know, something like that. But definitely, I think Dryads deserves a lord, and that's why I have it number 4 on the list. Okay, number 3, I have snakes. I really love snakes in Pioneer. Obviously, you kind of saw it coming. I had Winding Constrictor, obviously, on the thumbnail here. But what do I want to see in snakes? When I think of snakes, I think of counters. Not even just like 1/1 counters or minus counters or death touch counters. I just think of all types of counters. So obviously I have a death touch lord there. It seems like Snake's theme, at least, you know, like in the earlier days of Magic especially, was like death touch. So like so many snakes have death touch, but also a keyword token granter. What I mean by that is like when it, you know, when at the beginning of combat, you know, put a, you know, one between the counters of these counters, put them on all your snakes. So it's like a 1/1 counter, a death touch counter, a menace counter, a whatever counter, something like that. Because just snakes always seems like they want to be messing around with counters. I don't know, it just kind of makes sense overall. But I really, really love snakes, and it doesn't seem like they print that many good snakes nowadays, and it doesn't even have a true actual lord, and I would love to see snakes actually get a lord, and that's why I have it number 3 on the list. Okay, number 2 is a creature type that I think is so close to being good in Pioneer, and I think that a lord would definitely help this one, obviously, and that's where I have Elementals. I think Elementals is so close to being good. To be honest with you, this is the one where I don't imagine it being like a 2 or a 3 mana lord. Obviously, we do have a 2 mana lord here in Creeping Trailblazer, but when I think of Elementals, I think of like a 3 or a 4 mana value lord. Like, it enters with, you know, Elementals based on maybe like Domain or something like that, and then it gives your Elementals +1/+1, and then it has like a Wooburg or like, you know, like weird activated ability, and it like gives your Elementals 1/1 for each other elemental you control. I don't know, something like that. That's what I envision. And then obviously the mana cost would probably be like Teamer or Gruul, maybe another one of those hybrid ones, you know, where you could play it in like a Simic deck or Gruul deck or, you know, whatever. That's kind of what I envision with Elementals. But I would love to see Elementals get more lords because I think the creature type is just really, really cool. And that's why I have it as number 2 on the list. Okay, so number 1, the creature type that I think needs a lord the most, which if you are very keen and noticed the nice creature that was in the thumbnail, it's Minotaurs. I love Minotaurs in Pioneer. I just wish that they were better. I think Minotaurs has more issues than just needing a new lord, but I always have loved Minotaurs, especially Rageblood Shaman. Like back in the day, a 2/3 lord for 3 with trample and gives other Minotaurs 1/1 and trample, that was really pushed for a lord. The only reason it wasn't good is because the Minotaurs aren't that strong by themselves, and I think they definitely deserve to be. The two things that they need to have is haste, like, you know, like a 2 or 3 mana lord, maybe like a 3 mana lord, 3/3 for 3 with haste. Your other Minotaurs get 1/1 and have haste, or something like that. I don't know. So kind of like the one goblin that grants, I'm forgetting the name of it all of a sudden. Or you could, the other ability I have, at least in terms of ideas, is a Reckoner ability granter. So like Boros Reckoner, whenever it's dealt damage, you deal that much damage to another permanent. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, whether or not it's any target or a creature, a planeswalker, or a player or planeswalker, I'm not sure. But that's just kind of what I envisioned for Minotaurs. I would love to see Minotaurs get a new lord that can be hit with Collected Company. Like, you can make it a 2 mana one. I think to a certain extent, I'm okay with it being a 3 mana lord. But I don't know. That's just what I'd love to see. I love all these creature types, and I think that they all need lords, but Minotaurs is #1 on my list, and you should definitely let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this list, and whether or not you agree or disagree with the list. Just let me know what your opinions are in the comment section. So that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe once again. We're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff like sealed product and decks and singles, and you're not going to want to miss that giveaway once we do it. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, Serwanoki, and Night Red 3. If you're interested in being a channel member, it's only $1 a month, and you get access to the exclusive Commander Crane Discord, as well as other features here on the channel. So, I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.